trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet, that bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
What is going on? Welcome to Trading with Bleeves. We are in the nightly show. I hope you guys are having a good evening. I hope you're happy that the market has reversed and turned back to where we were just a short little while ago. We're feeling a lot better right now to know that the market has done something positive. We had a $175 billion collapse yesterday. Not what we're looking for. We're certainly looking for upward momentum to be happening. And it was good to see that this one was okay. This looks like we're coming back. Also, full disclosure, I used Tingle lotion today, which sounds pretty gay. But it was on my face. It was on my neck. It's like everywhere. I had it on my arms. I was, I think, like all over my chest. Like I am like burnt everywhere, but it's not even real burning. Like for whatever reason, there's these things that are called hot action lotions that you put on yourself when you go like to a tanning bed or something like that. You put them on and it starts to tingle and it starts to buzz a little bit. And what it is it's like, I guess it's like putting jalapeno juice all over your body. It starts to like burn a little bit. So I get into the tanner and 9 minutes later I come out. I am like bright red. I'm like bright red. And I thought, oh my God, I just cooked myself. I just put olive oil on a steak and burned myself. You know what I mean? And it turns out I was wrong. Turns out that stuff just brings the oxygen to your to the surface of it. It oxygenates your skin or something like that, and it gets really, really red. Gets really, really red because it's oxygenated, whatever that means. And over the course of the last like 3 hours, I'm getting less and less and less and less. It doesn't hurt, by the way. It hurt when it hurt like 9 minutes after I put it on, where I was like sizzling or felt like I was. But once you wash it off, you're fine. And it was wild. It was wild. So I hope that if you have ever done anything like that, that you certainly cleaned it off very, very quickly, because woohoo, it was nuts. So let's go look and let's see how we're doing in this market. Remember, we took some trades 2 days ago, and those trades were dangerous. And I felt like I was obligated to you guys. By the way, got my Volt Inu shirt on, or one of my Volt Inu shirts on. You can't see the yellow because I'm using a green screen. So, we've got, what do we have here? Let me pull this up. So here we are. We're up $12 right now on our tiny link trade that we took. By the way, we took a 10x on that one. We also took one for $10,000, which was another link trade. That one's up as well. So we're getting a good reversal on link, but we're still down 27% on our Bitcoin trade, which I'm not really worried about that one. We did a 10x there. My leverage estimated liquidation is 102,000. I don't think that we're going to get that kind of dump, at least not over the weekend. I think we'd have a corrective move to the upside first. The one thing that I am nervous about is the CPI data that we got today, or the PCE data that we got today. Looks like we are probably not going to have another rate cut. and that's being priced out right now. So that's why you're seeing this market start to come down, because the data that we're getting is not conducive to a rate cut. And that is a bad sign. It's a bad sign for the economy. And to be fair, like I'm not sure that the Trump administration can do very much about it at this point. I don't think that there's really anything that they can do, even if they wanted to. So I'm going to move this over here just a little bit so you guys can see the background. Over here, we're also down $450 or 22% on our Ethereum trade. But we were down 50% at one point, and we've come back pretty significantly. So hopefully we'll continue to see some kind of surge. The market, I'll get to that in just one moment. We're down 197 or 30% on our Solana trade. And then we're down 580 or 58% on Avalanche. Now, I consider the Avalanche trade probably to be lost. I'm not ready to give up on it yet. I'm not ready to say that it's cooked. But, when I look at this chart and I look at how much downward momentum you got in that short period of time, anything could break this thing down. So the overall market is up $47 billion on the day after $175 billion downward pressure the day before. What does it look like on the short term? We've come back a little bit, not a huge amount. We were up 40 billion more. We were up about $90 billion on the day before it started correcting back to the downside. Now, the question that I have is, are we going to see a spike in positive price action, or are we going to see a continued dip? Well, I feel good because each one of these longs has weathered this storm, if you will, and my RSI is sitting right down here into pump territory, which makes me feel pretty good about it. So number one, my RSIs are feeling good. So I think that I'm going to see some upside momentum on this. So where does Bitcoin sit? Bitcoin sits about the same spot right now, sitting at a 37 on the RSI. When you have a low RSI, that tends to mean that you're about to have a reversal or could have a reversal. When you see this downward momentum, like for example, over here, and you saw that happen over here, it followed with a big, massive upswing. So what are we doing right now? We're doing the same thing. Now, when we got it the last time over here, we had a move to here, then it came down even lower. And then it came down here, but then we had a wild swing back to the upside. Wasn't as robust as the first one, but it was still a pretty significant move. And to be fair, if we look at it from a technical sort of standpoint, you can kind of make an argument here that about the same size move. It's very close to the same size move. So if that is true, then it's significant here, because we would be talking about this right here, and then we'd be talking about Bitcoin breaking back up to around 118 to 120,000. Now, I don't think Bitcoin goes that high. I think Bitcoin goes to about 117 at best right here, 116.5 maybe. So I'm going to be looking for somewhere around that range right there to be our next potential dump area. Now, it might be a little bit higher. There are enough wicks over here. There's enough activity right in that range right there. If I put the volume profile up, I bet I'm probably right on the second try, not on this first try. Yeah, see, that's the volume. Like, I just absolutely nailed the volume node right there. So we're going to leave it right there. So I think that the rally for Bitcoin is 117,500, and we should be seeing that in very short order, I think. So, what are we going to do with that? Over here, I've got a full take profit set at 114,400. I did not go all the way up there, but it might be. Let's see how the market plays out. We're going to see how this market plays. If we can get it fortunate enough to get a move up into this range right here, then what are we looking at here? We're looking at 112. We're looking at a deal. We're looking at a quantity of 10,000. We're looking at we're still down on it. Just don't like that. I just don't like the fact that we're down on it. That sucks. Let's I think I'm going to cancel this. I think I'm going to I think I want to change this to 100. I think I want to change it to what I just said, 117.5. Estimated P&L is going to be 1,436 if we did that. Now, you know what? I'm going to leave it where we are. 114,400. And then we're going to see what the profit looks like when we're at 114,400. And then we'll decide from there whether or not we're going to get rid of this take profit or not. So, yeah, for the moment, we're going to leave it right there. But we're feeling pretty good right now. We've got 12 minutes into the 6 o'clock hour. So we got 48 minutes left before reset. Every night at 8 p.m. Eastern time, the markets on TradingView reset completely and we start over again. That's when our daily close is. That's the candle close. Candle close right now looks to be in the green. It reminds me, by the way, of this over here, and which makes me bullish because it's upward momentum still. We're still showing upward momentum despite this downward trend that we've got. Now, here's the thing. Until this cycle is broken, we could still be looking at downward momentum. We could, this could all fall apart. We could end up getting wrecked. I am, to be fair, kind of trapped in this position right now, or at least I feel kind of trapped in this position right now. What I would like to see is I would like to see one altcoin breakout to kind of fix a little bit of that. I like to see something like Link, which we did which we've got a trade that's profitable right now. We got in at a pretty decent position on Link. If we can get a nice little breakout from Link and get maybe a 10% gain from here, something like that, we could do a take profit. Now we've got a little bit more capital back. Now we're feeling pretty okay. Now we're feeling like there might be a move towards the upside. But just in case there isn't, then we've got some leverage right there that we're not going to be wrecked. I don't want to lose $5,000. You know what I mean? But I also thought that these were going to be some good trades. So I feel like I need to stick them out. My stop loss. I don't want to set the stop loss on this. So I thought we had a good win. So we'll see what happens over the next little while. We're going to stick with this one. Ethereum kind of the same thing. Like, we really got to exactly where I thought we could get. Now, remember, we entered this trade at a bad position. We entered at 41.52. I knew when we were talking about it that 39 was probably the spot. And I second guessed myself because I felt like I needed to show you guys. And that, by the way, is something that I'm going to be working on over the next little while as we continue to do these shows. I feel a sense of necessity here to do a trade for you guys, to show you that entry position, to show you what happens right there. I still can't get that goddamn light right. I still can't get that thing to work the way that I wanted to. It's just, it annoys me. Sorry about that. Anyway, so I feel a sense of obligation sometimes to just complete the trade and just to show you guys on the screen what's happening so that, if you're incentivized to do it too, you would do it. But then, of course, what am I doing? I'm giving you guys a loss. So I'm going to do better about that. I'm going to give you the entry positions that I think are true. And then we're just going to stick to those entry positions going forward. So there may be days when we just don't do any trading. There's not going to be any trading today because we're already trapped in a bunch of different trades. I could pull on the link, on the chain link trades, but I think I want to let them run and I want to see what the market has to bear for them over the next 48, 72 hours, maybe going into Monday. Maybe we'll see a nice little day on Monday. The Dow Jones closed up 300 points. That's a positive sign for crypto. I don't think that that's a bearish sign at all. So we're closing and we're starting to get a pump in the market. Then we should see a pump come back over into crypto. So moving on to Solana, same thing, but a more aggressive return. Problem with that is we zoom back out here. We took that trade up here at $2,211 or $212. Now, this is, by the way, one of those situations in which, like, I could see, like, if Link started to take off just a little bit more, I could see liquidating that Link trade and then moving it all and buying Solana where we are right now, just so I could add to that margin. And by adding to that margin, it would give me a little bit lower liquidation price and a pretty good DCA. If my DCA right now, which is at 20, we call it 204. So the difference between 204 and 212 is 416. So 208 would be my DCA. And that would feel a little bit more tolerable than 212, even though I'm not mad at 212. I don't know I don't know how the market is going to react. So I'm watching all things, hoping to get that. Here's what I'm looking at. Okay. What I think is going to happen right now is I think that we're going to see, we bounced off of the 618. This is the important part. What do I always tell you? We go up here, we come back down here, we go back to the 236, right? 236 is sitting at 231, $230. And we set a full take profit at $230 based upon that analysis. So that's what we're looking to do right now. That's where we're looking to get our profit back out on Solana. So 230, that's where our full take profit is set up. And then finally, Avalanche, which is the other trade that we took. And, you know, we didn't take enough trades, but I mean, look at the dagger that they just, this was a dagger. Okay. Like this was a massive dump that Avalanche went through here. Like I just, you know, by the way, when you zoom out, it doesn't look like it, but that is a very quick downward. I mean, you go to 300 and what is this, $36. You go from $36 to $26 in the course of 4 days. That is a huge dump. Like that is, that is crazy, right? From here to here, 25% dump in the course of 4 days. Like that's insanity. Now, here's the good news. We didn't take it at the right spot, because I'm stupid. And I felt like I needed to show you guys. But if we had stuck with what originally, which, you know, we would have probably argued it right here and ended up with this top right here. And if we took that top right there, guess what? We would have entered this trade and we'd be looking absolutely fucking fabulous at this point. You know what I mean? Like, so, and by the way, the rest of the market, we're up 5.5% on Solana. We're up 4% on Ethereum. We're up 4% on Link. We're up less than 1% on Avalanche. So I'm not sure how Avalanche went out of vogue in that short period of time like it did. Could be that it's just delayed. Maybe the European market, maybe the Asian market likes it a little bit better. Maybe. So we could be seeing a reversal coming at some point soon. But nonetheless, there we have the mark. This is our spot right here. And we set a full take profit right now at, you know what? I haven't set one yet. So let's go up here and let's see, what do we have? Yeah, so we didn't do one right there. We've got active orders. We've got position history. We have no stop loss. We just got that full take profit right there. Why do I have two details on it and I can't easily see them? Partial position. Here we go. So we got a profit. I did two of them. Okay. And that's a 33 and a 36. So we're going to remove both of those. We're going to clean those out. Now we're going to go back and we're going to look at Avalanche one more time. And we're going to see, like, what does it look like if we have a reversal, and what would that reversal break down to, right? So we're looking for this. We're looking at this. And now we're looking at where do we get out of it if we can. And the answer to that looks like it's going to be about $32.70. So we're going to look at this. We got in at 32.29. So we are not in a good position. It's going to take a massive move here to get us back into that range. So let's try this. Let's break down. Here's the move. Here's the move. There's the top right there. There's the breakdown. Then let's look at, you know what? Let's actually do this in reverse. Let's look at this. So we got the right numbers in the right location. We got the breakout. We got the move right there. We got the breakdown into the range. Now we got the 236. 236 clocking in at $33.07. So $33.07. That's what we're going to want to do. We're going to want to take profit here at 33. You know what? Let's just do this a limit at $33, and that's going to be a full one. Right. Okay, so that $33 gets us back out of that trade if we are fortunate enough to get there. Yeah, let's see what happens there. Now, I would not protect that, by the way. Like we were just talking about protecting that Solana one. I feel encouraged by the Solana one. I don't feel encouraged by Avalanche at this point. By the way, I told you that I think that Avalanche is going to have a massive move. I think that that's going to be one of those gems. But right now, I'm just not feeling it, and I'm not feeling it on the charts. So if we get a breakout, we get 5% gain overnight. We get 5% gain in the next little while. Maybe that changes. Maybe I feel a little bit better. So, maybe so. Maybe we'll get something there. Anyway, that's what we have going on right now. So let's go look around and let's see what we got. We're going to close that out, and we're going to get back over here. We're going to go to XRP. I mean, guys, if you got in at 270 on XRP, I think that's a gift. We've triggered 270 here. I did not get into it at 270. I set a buy order for a small amount on weeks, and that got triggered. So I have something like $150 worth of XRP. If it moons, it's gonna be $1,500. Not worth even talking about, basically. So not gonna say too much about that one, but I feel like at $1.70, like this really has played out. Like, doesn't that look like some symmetry to you? Like what I always tell you is what you're looking for is you're looking for that downtrend. You're looking for a break above the downtrend. So you got a downtrend, you got a downtrend, you got a downtrend. You have a break above the downtrend. You have a break out above the downtrend. You have a back test that fails to get back down into that range and then tries to break out one more time because you're bullish and you're wanting to see it break. And then it breaks down, but it breaks down to the top. Now, it so far has broken down to the top of this line, which means that's a breakout. And we should get a breakout to the top of the range. The top of the range is right now sitting at $3.66, which goes back to the all-time high. So what I would think in the next little while is that we're going to see a test of the all-time high with XRP at $3.66. That's what this chart is telling me right now. It's telling me that we are bullish still, that, again, zoom out. When in doubt, zoom out. Are we bullish? Are we bearish? And really, the easiest way to figure that out is, where are your pivot lows? Pivot low right here. Pivot low right here. Pivot low right now, right here. We are in a bullish uptrend. So short term bearish, long term continue to be bullish. No indicators have triggered on the 30 different indicators for what do you call it? The bull market indicators. Only 0 triggered right now. Only 0. All right. So Link, we've already talked about. Hoping that that's going to play out to my advantage. I hope we're going to get a nice little pump off of that one. Let's go down to SWE and let's look at SWE. Now, this is where the thesis for the entire market starts to break down. Okay. This is where I get concerned because the market is coming down. SWE is holding up a little bit stronger. So are we really bearish in the short term, or are we still like these are the places where I look at it and it doesn't match up to what I'm seeing on some of the other charts. So now I start to wonder, this Bitcoin chart looks kind of like that. We're kind of seeing that downward momentum, but we're seeing the attempted breakout over here. Ethereum, same thing. Like, we're seeing continued attempted breakouts right here. But with SWE, we're seeing a clear channel on this downtrend. And I mean, it's almost a perfect one. And what we get is we're going to get 3 touches, right? So what we've got right now is we didn't get that third touch down here, and we got a reversal, which would indicate, by the way, the last time we got this play, here's what happened. It's right here, right there. So we got a big play to the downside. It did not wick to the bottom. We then got bought back up, and then for 2 days, we kind of meandered sideways, may even been a weekend for all I know. And then boom, we got that dagger that took us down to the bottom of the range. So I would be looking for something along those lines to happen again. But if not, if we're kind of stuck at the heart line of this move, which is really going to be like right in here, there could be a move up here for that third test, 1, 2, and then 3 right here. And if we get that breakout, and then we get that back test right there at 360 or something, then you could see it break out to, where is that, 444. You can see a breakout to 444 on SWE coming up very, very soon. Like, that's really kind of what it looks like. So I'm still sad though. Like, we could have picked we could have had a great entry right there. But I overplayed. Again, it's my fault for overplaying the hand and putting us into that position. I don't see the same thing on Cardano. Cardano looks like it's, it looks like it's going to move with Bitcoin. Looks like it's going to move with Ethereum. Looks like it's going to move with the rest of the market. It just looks like it's, there's nothing particular that stands out about Cardano in this move other than, people just sold out, took their profit, moved on. Cardano is back to being a stable coin again, so whatever. Near. So we were bullish on Near. We felt Near. We got that big run up on Near the other day. We felt really good about it. Now we got to zoom out. And what is our thesis here? Long-term bullish, but we go here and we got uptrend. Here we got uptrend. For right now, it looks like an uptrend, but we don't have a break above the top. So what do we have? We have ultimately, maybe you can make this argument right here, but more or less what I'm looking at is this top right here, along with this kind of top right here. And then I'm looking at this right here, breaking up this way right here. So I think this is primed for a breakout. Like, I think Near, if I'm doing my thesis over here on what it looks like for Near protocol, then I'm looking at, I'm taking it's simple. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this right here. And now I'm thinking, this right here looks like it's about to run up here and do another big test at 330. So is that money on the table? Is that easy money on the table for this move? I can't tell you because I don't have the capital on this account to just go ahead and take a shot at it, but I do have the ability to buy it on some other one. So we'll look at that with no leverage. We'll look at that on a non-leverage position. H-bar, again, we're supposed to be seeing an Elliott wave playing out according to some analysis on H-bar. So the next move looks like it would be into the 38 cent range, somewhere at 37, 38 cents. If this thesis holds. So again, something looking like it's ready for and primed for a massive breakout. That's what it looks like. So if we see that, then we're going to be geniuses. We'll be geniuses. So if you're setting a position, this is a good entry. I would, look, we've had our dip. We've got our, we've clawed back a little bit of this money. I don't know for sure that we're not going to go down anymore. I mean, you can find the bears anywhere. Here's what I would say to it. I would say if you come over here, you pull up your money flow. Money flow is telling us that we're going up. The money flow is not telling us that we're going down. Okay. Really, it just kind of looks like we dipped right here, just right there, and that we're about to see this crazy little breakout happen, right? That's money flow. So, and then we're going to have a big correction and it's going to go so much higher. So, and by the way, this could get drawn out for a while. This is actually set for, what's this, October 3rd for the peak right there. But we're not exactly right on this. If we kind of look at this and we kind of look at, let's just say, for example, because this thing was drawn out, this is a little more off. And what if we put the pieces that we're looking at that kind of match up and stick together is, like, for example, we've got this bottom over here and we've got this surge right here. I know maybe I'm not even telling you right. This right here at the bottom. Then we got this surge, which looks like this. Then we got these surges right here, which look like this. Then we didn't have a break to the upside, but we got this right here. And then we got the dump, which does correspond right here. Then we got this big upside move, which is right here. Then we got this big upside play out right here and here. And then we got this kind of sideways action taking us here and here and here. Then we like to right here. So are we actually, is this actually where we are in this market? We're guessing, by the way, just guessing. Nonetheless, we've still got some more upside momentum coming, is the short to it all. So I'm gonna be looking for a big upside move. Sonic, I'm not in tune with Sonic right now. I look at it every once in a while. I pay attention to it because I want to see it be successful, stuff like that. But when you have these moments and you're dumping here, you're not bullish. There's nothing bullish about the Sonic chain right now. I want it to be. I want it to be just like I want DevE to be. You know what I mean? Like I want to see this bullish scenario sort of play out, but Sonic chain is giving us kind of a hard time right now. It went from what is it, 30 cents here down to 22. Like that's a 35%, 30% dump. That's a bad look. All right. So Arrow had it did exactly what I said it was going to do. We just didn't take the trade. But I mean, God damn it. You know what I mean? If we just like right here. So if we were right here, again, the thesis is that you're going to bounce off of the top of the previous market, right? Right there, or maybe down here, but you're going to have a bounce. You should have a significant retest from there, right? Well, it goes a little bit deeper than that, goes a little bit into the woods here before reversing. But then when it reversed really strong. So, what we think is playing out is playing out. We just missed some of these. Pendle, on the other hand, look at this, guys. This setup is as bullish as it gets. I mean, this thing is running through this channel, and it's got two big tests up here at the top, maybe even three big tests up at the top. But once it broke to the upside, look, it stayed up there for a long period of time before coming down here for a short while, and then boom, breaking out, bull trap. Then it dumped one more time, and then boom, broke to the top. Now it's coming back down. It just broke to the bottom of the range. Like this is what's playing out on your screen. So Pendle to $6.50, $7, something like that. Like, I mean, it does not seem ridiculous to say that Pendle is on the verge of a breakout. So this would be a great place for you to enter a position on Pendle. Again, I would go with spot on this one, unless you buy like right on that line, unless you set a buy order for that spot, then I would be looking at for that as an upside momentum move right there. OM, nothing to be bullish about on OM yet. The breakdown was severe from where it was, and it continues. So there's a little bit of reversal right there, but there's still no positive momentum that we're experiencing. We're still not getting that positive momentum. There still has to be that one moment of breakout, and we don't see that breakout yet. We haven't seen anything. What we need to see is we needed to see a secondary test up here near that 40-cent barrier, okay? And the best we could get was around 30 cents a couple days later. So that's not great. That's not a confidence-inspiring move right here. So, they've lost the faith of some of these investors is basically what it is. I mean, that's the part. I told you guys that floor, that little blue line going across the top right here, that was going to be, that right there is your floor. We broke through the floor. So now we're in price discovery to that downside. By the way, anybody who shorted this got rich, by the way. I mean, this was a catastrophic sort of dump. It can consider this. I mean, just kind of look at this. If you put $1,000 on it, if you had $1,000 on this thing and you were using like 25x leverage, just consider it's down 97% from that top. I mean, just consider that. or maybe 95%, you know, but I mean, you would be up 20x. Like you would have broken out 20x on a short on this position. Now you probably would have cashed it out by now, thinking that it was going to reverse. I don't know, but you know, again, my long story short, my upside momentum is going to end right around there. Okay, that's where I think. That's what I think the best case scenario is for Mantra right now. Even though there's nothing wrong with Mantra. Mantra's done everything that it's supposed to do. This was one single investor who invested in either Hyperliquid or Aave and got liquidated because he sucked at. He's a clown investor. Lost $36 million. So now on to Devi. Devi is doing. So there's what the chart looks like. Move this out just a little bit, and let's say that, you know, maybe that's right. Maybe that right there is where we are. I'm going to sit down, by the way. I love having one of these desks, by the way. My back is burning. Like my back is still hot. So we're going to sit down for a little bit. So floor, upside momentum. We got to break above 52, 53 cents if we want to have a breakout. Now, here's the thing. I don't think that anything that they're really doing is cause for a pump right now. I think that the pump, everything after their announcement of their partner is a reason for pumping, okay? Everything after we get that real, this is what's going on sort of announcement. Everything after that is a reason to pump. But everything leading up to that, what is this fucking shit here? Is not a reason for a pump, okay? So that's what it is. That's the top of my monitor. God damn, like everything seems to be falling apart here. I moved my lighting around, by the way, for anybody who's wondering why I'm such a spaz today. I moved my lighting around. I had two big lights. I had a main light over here, and then I had a fill light over here, but the fill light was brighter than the main light. So then I reversed them, and then once I reversed them and I put the brighter light as my main light, I don't like it, so I used the smaller light. I don't know. Whatever. So Tony C says, if Dev E is everything that they appear to be, what stops them from turning into a top 5 crypto? Just capital flow. I mean, that's the only thing that would stop them. I mean, when you break it down, here's the other part. There's two parts to that. Nothing would be the answer. Nothing would stop them from becoming a top 5, except let's take just one moment and say this. What crypto is in that top 5 right now? Now, here's the question that you would ask. The only one that, in my opinion, really qualifies for this conversation is Hyperliquid, okay? Hyperliquid has an enormous amount of exposure right now, went to a $15 billion market cap. That's not good enough for the top 5. So let's stop and let's say, what about top 10 or what about top 15? If we say that, then let's just say this. What if Devi went to the same market cap as Hyperliquid? Well, then you're talking about Devi, and then you're talking about HYPE, Hyperliquid. You're talking about Devi at $138 per coin, and it'll be a coin at that point. So about 320x from where we are right now. So that's about $6.5 million for me. If it were to do that, that would be insane. That would be just out of control. Crazy run. Now, I'm not sure that that announcement alone gets us into that top 5 category. That is where it comes into, well, what is Devi? First of all, it's a blockchain that is probably partnered with NASDAQ, that we've gotten multiple confirmations without them ever saying that it is NASDAQ. There are plenty of different nuggets along the way that give us a very reasonable proximity to assume that that's who it is. So if that is the case, then it's at least a top 50 crypto, right? That puts it in the top 50. Top 50 is at 2 billion market cap, which means that it would be about $24 per coin. Now you have to ask yourself, is that enough? And I don't think that is. I don't think that's right. I think that actually we're talking about something in the 5 billion range, which puts it up there near top 25. Okay. So top 25 is about $50. And when you're, because that's 5 billion market cap. At 5 billion market cap, be worth about $50 per coin. That seems a lot more reasonable. Now the question is, so let's posit this sort of theory here. What happens if Devi announces the partnership with NASDAQ? Okay. So we would go to, let's just say, around 5 billion market cap. That seems to be kind of the value here for something that would do that. Like that's, to me, a billion will probably stumble there for a few days before just rocketing to 5 billion. Like I think that that's the way that it would happen. I think that after 5 billion, it collapses back down to about 2 billion. We do we just do a huge retracement because you have to. But in the meantime, the question becomes, what is the partnership with NASDAQ and Devi worth? Okay. So then you have to answer the question with, well, if this is true, if everything is correct, right? If we're right in our thesis about how this would play out, in that everybody who's anybody in institutions would now want to use DevE over any other blockchain, not for just day-to-day, not for you're still going to build on Ethereum. You're still going to build on other chains. You're still going to do stuff on other chains, but for your trading purpose, you have a zero, less than 1 second, instantaneous settlement of each transaction. You have full security to prevent hacking. You will have the ability to reverse a transaction that was fraud. You have to confirm it through a secondary source. All of the protocols that institution has been waiting for is right there inside DevE right now, ready to go. So that would mean to me that you would then have to see BlackRock, you would have to see Fidelity, you would have to see ERC-20. You would start to see, in my opinion, these guys, if that's the case, and this is the place where crypto gets bought and sold and settled, like if this is the place, if DevE is that bitch, then you would be looking at every single major institutional player having to be part of it in buying coins, buying DevStream stock, and trading on DevStream. So it is monumental what could happen. But if it were to go to a top 5, where would the top 5 be? BNB, 133 billion market cap. Okay, let's play the game. BNB, DevE would be $1,527 per coin. Right there. So if DevE were to get to $133 billion market cap like BNB, it would be $1,527 per coin. That is absolute insanity. And I would have $70 million. Think about that. It'd be crazy. But anyway, that's what DevE purports. And by the way, don't forget, like I say this and it sounds crazy, and it will sound crazy to some of you as you look at it and as you see it. Like it sounds nuts until you go back and you look at, where did Ethereum start, which is trading at $4,000 right now. Like if you go back here to the beginning, it was trading at $1. Like you go back to the very, very beginning, and it was trading at $1.80. There's like 100 and something million of them, something like that. You know what I mean? So there's I mean, we are talking about something that could be an absolute breakout candidate. Where was BNB at the beginning? 9 cents, 10 cents. So it is entirely possible that we see exactly what we're talking about play out. So I didn't mean to make this, by the way, a Devi pump session, but I mean, it is potential that Devi does something just radically brilliant. Like we might see this thing become one of the biggest cryptos that we've seen in a very, very long time. Doesn't mean that it will happen, by the way. Doesn't mean that it's going to. Doesn't mean anything. But you know, when we start to look at it, when we start to try to figure it out, we try to map where we are and where it could be going and all those kind of things. We're looking at all kinds of different stuff. A partnership with a major stock exchange is a gigantic deal. The requirement for institutions who want to trade to be part of that, because it's the safest and most secure environment for them to trade, making it a necessity, turns it into not just, let's say, NASDAQ, turns it into not just NASDAQ, but it turns it into everybody else. It turns it into BlackRock. It turns it into Franklin Templeton. It turns it into ERC-20 and Fidelity and Invesco. Everybody will settle their trades on Devi. And then you become a liquidity provider. Like you who have some Devi right now, you can then become a liquidity provider, and you can watch your money just grow. I mean, just imagine this. Just to give you guys an idea here, okay? What if the liquidity pool, what if your reward on it is 5% on that liquidity pool, and it absolutely explodes to a 20 or $30 billion market cap? And what if that happens? I don't know what the number would be there. But if we were to look at it from, say, something that's around a 30 billion market cap, which would be Dogecoin. So let's say it goes to about $400, from 40 cents to $400. Then you would be, for $400 means that you would be talking about what, $8 million? You have $8 million, and you're getting 5% every year off of $8 million, $400,000 a year in rewards. So, I mean, the possibilities here are just endless here. It's crazy to think what can happen. Now, I don't know if it matters that I'm a founder here. I don't know if, I don't know, what it means, by the way. Like, I'm going to log in here and let's see what happens. I've completed all onboarding and stuff like that. So I've got a founder pack. I don't know what's in the founder pack. I don't know what my raffle tickets do. I don't know what my experience does. I have no idea what these things are all about at this point. Like, I have no idea. And as they enter and add maybe some new tasks and shit, I don't know what it's going to be. Also, I have a Devi wallet, which is in glassblock.io, which you can go to as well. And in my Glassblock wallet, by the way, almost everything that I have in my Glassbook wallet, I don't have any money over here. All I have right now is Litcraft resources from playing. So I have a bunch of dirt. I have a bunch of clay. I have the Founders Pack. I have grass. I have Hunan, whatever the fuck that is. Metal-rich dirt. Nice experience points. Palal. I have Pickeasy. I don't know what the fuck that is. Red gems, sand, sticks. I've got straw, Renthia, Zaantis. It's just some kind of minerals, I'm assuming, for the game. I mean, I didn't play it that much. I'm not a game player, so you know what I mean. Like but anyway, yeah. I mean, something. I don't know what this Founders Pack does. So, maybe, just maybe, there's an NFT that's got some value to it or something like that. Or, maybe you get an extra 1,000 Devi for being one of these founders. I don't know. I have no idea yet. So there are some potentially good things that are in that package, and we'll see whether it plays out. Also, remember here, we had a really nice rip over here off of Definity. Now, I'm still in on Definity. The agent that was supposed to reach out to me, haven't heard from. I am in their chat right now, but it's not a very active chat. So I don't know what that means. Right there. They're having a little conversation about it. People are talking about it a little bit. MEXC as one of the places. So that's happening. But I don't really, I haven't really seen a whole lot of active stuff. Junebug says, Bleeves, donate me some Dev E, please. You know, I was going to do some giveaways for Dev E. So I will, Monday morning, we're going to do some Dev E giveaways. I'm going to set it up. Matter of fact, I'll set it up right now. I already talked to Elliot. He just approved it and said we can do it. Yeah, that should be fine. Sorry for this. Yeah, so he said that's fine. So we'll do some giveaways starting Monday for Dev E so that everybody has an opportunity to grab a little bit, and let's see what happens. You know what I mean? And by the way, for those of you that don't know, my plan at $50, I'm a seller. Okay, I'm going to change my life, but I'm going to hold on to some because I think that if it goes up to, you know, the Ethereum level or the BNB level, if it goes up into that realm up there and they become even more valuable, like if I hold on to 4,000 tokens, if I hold on to like 4,000 of them, then it goes to $400. That's like 1.6 million, right? 4,000 times 400 is 1.6 million. So I'm going to hold on to 4,000, maybe 8,000, and then I'm going to sell the rest just to see what will happen. You know what I mean? And if that breaks out, then, you know, sweet. Centrifuge, by the way, Centrifuge broke out pretty strong today. That was the first big rally that we saw. We also saw, by the way, not bragging, but I told you guys, and I keep telling you that this XVM is going to break out hard, that it's going to have a massive run at some point. Like we're going to see it just go crazy. And that time is right now. It's actually breaking out. It's up 101% on the day right now. Very soon, some like 3 weeks, like they keep telling us, I'm in a private chat with the developers and stuff, and they keep telling us, if you have a little bit of faith and a little bit of patience, then in a couple of days, maybe 3 weeks or so, like you're going to be so amazed and you're going to be so glad that you didn't fade us. I'm not sure that that's the case, but I'm willing to ride along with it and see what happens. So, you know, let's see if, you know, I mean, you know, could be an absolute banger of a candidate here for a massive move. So we've got a gigantic move right here. We've got big sellers, it looks like, stepping in like 6 minutes ago. It's not even really like, I don't know, 1178, 1133, 1188. Like, I don't see a massive sell down happening anywhere. I don't even see a massive profit taking. I just see some pretty big buys continuing to come in. So it looks like it's on the way, you know, for a massive surge to the upside. So it's going to take a while to see whether or not it breaks or breaks out. So, you know what I mean? And by the way, I did too. I got a new video for Exceller that's coming. I think the Exceller just came out. What I would recommend on Exceller is, remember, like there's the liquid, everything. They're going to delete all the tokens. They're going to burn everything. Whatever we buy is what it's going to run with. And a couple hours after the launch, take your original investment out and put it into, go buy some Dev E. I mean, that's what I would say. Now, if you do that, it's going to take 3 or 4 months for the launch. I think, I don't know, the first thing that they have in the fourth quarter is the announcement of the partner. but I don't know that to be the case. I had somebody today, and I don't want to do it on screen here, so it's going to take me a second here to find it. Okay, so there is a patent where somebody says that the patent for something for Dev-E was approved. I don't know that to be the case. Just says major patent approval. On September 15, a major step forward was achieved for the Dev ecosystem. A patent filed in May 26, 2023 has been approved, and this was an invention by Tom Anderson and Nick Williams. And it's called the Embedded Patent Device Authentication System. This is the abstract of it. This is the images of it. This is the filings that they've had. And then you have the application granted. So what this is some embodiments of the present invention provide a method for cryptographically identifying and authenticating embedded devices through interaction with the distributed ledger. The device begins with a manufacturer root key and a globally unique identifier. It registers by signing a registration transaction that includes its identifier using its private root key with a digital signature algorithm and sending the resultant transaction to the distributed ledger. The ledger generates a registration root key and responds by sending the second root key back to the device. The device then uses the manufacturer root key and the registration root key to generate a child key that is used to sign its response to the challenge, proving that it possesses both the manufacturer key and the registration key. Thereafter, the device can non-interactively identify and authenticate itself to the distributed ledger by signing transactions with the derivative key. Here is the device manufacturer root combination. This is I don't know what the fuck all this means. Okay, so but it was approved and the patent is now active. And there is the publication. So the publication back then, this is their new patent registration. That's what it is right there. And its application was filed by Devio Inc. So they just had a patent approved a couple days ago. So there could be there could be something to this. There could be it could be a big deal. Now, on the other hand, I'm not sure exactly what all of this stuff does or is or anything like that. So, but here is everything that you would need to know about what it is. And then you can, of course, check it yourself and figure out for yourself if that's, informed patent grant, patent chain, patent kit. Yeah. So they've done it all. They've done everything that they needed to do in New Mexico. That's where Tom is. Oh, it seems pretty legit to me. So I'm nervous about it. By the way, I was nervous about it. And I told the guy, like, I would move my tokens away because I don't know what this is. You know what I mean? Like he sends me this article and I'm like, I don't trust that at all unless I can get verification of it. Well, that's kind of looking like verification that Devio got a patent. U.S. Patent Office search by name. There we go. Search for patents. Global dossier. Search open data portal provides public users open source data, allowing patent assignment search. Allows users to browse through the issued patents for the current week. Oh, here we go. So this allows us to go through the week of September 16 right here. Continue. Links are provided to the full left window is considered home. Granted patents are right here. You may enter the patent number in the search box and click on the go button, or click the link to a specified type of patent: human necessities, operation, textile, mechanical engineering, physics, electricity. Shit. I don't know what it would be part of. I don't know. I'd have to look. I'll have to take some more time to look at this thing, but I have no idea what it is. What I do know though is that looks like a legitimate patent. So if that is the case, then this is one more step towards exactly what I've been talking about, which is that breakout moment where all of these things start to come together. What they need right now is licensing. For those of you that don't know, Devi, D-E-V-E. Let's do Devi ecosystem right here. There we go. And let's get media. And there it is. All right, so there we have it. CASP and VASP licensing is required for the institutional partner. And that's what we're talking about right here. Q4, announcing the institutional exchange partner. So if it's NASDAQ, this thing's going to go parabolic. So we'll see what happens there. Anyway, that's my time, guys. We're at an hour. Yeah, we're at an hour right now. So again, I'm not taking any trades right now. I'm just watching my trades play out. We're positive in the market so far. We had a nice little recovery, a nice little bounce to the positive. Hopefully, this is going to continue. Hopefully, for the next little while, we're going to get some more pump. You know, maybe this will be a good weekend. I don't know for sure. But if it is, then we saved ourselves. Remember, we're at $5,665 right now. Would like to be able to keep as much of that as possible. Would like to not get liquidated by Avalanche on their BS. Would like to see a big, big pump come into the market through the weekend. Fingers crossed. Also this weekend, I just agreed to do some Devi content. So I'm going to make a video about Devi again. Then I've got some launch. I got a launch coming out. The video just got approved. I'm waiting for the final payment to launch it. So I'm ready to go. And there you have it. That's the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's not financial advice. By the way, if you haven't already, sign up at Margex. It helps me out. Also, they're watching me. So it helps me incredibly if you take the time, even if you're not trading actively, to just click on the link at Margex, sign up just in case you want to use it. It helps me out tremendously. It makes them say they're not wasting their time on me. And I appreciate that. So sign up at Margex. It's not financial advice. I'm always right. Thank you so much. And we'll see you again.
I'm looking for the good life, good life. Sitting on top of the world. I want to be shining.